Alright, let's cast some PvT. This is a replay from the ESL Open Cup NA that happened on Sunday, or Monday, I suppose. On the bottom left-hand side, our Blue Protoss player from Storm Gaming is MaxPax. Playing against the red tearing on the top right-hand side, Kua from Dragon Phoenix Gaming. I do feel like Kua has been a little bit kind of not as good as of late. It's just been slipping a little bit, but still generally pretty strong. See how he does in this best of 3. There's obviously new maps and stuff. Always fun to see MaxPax on new maps. I do feel like MaxPax's PvT is often some of the weaker part of his gameplay, but at times it can look really good. It just feels like there's never like a guarantee of what you're going to get when MaxPax is playing PvT. It's like sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's a little bit weaker. There's just no kind of, to me, there's almost like no like guaranteed level that's going to come out from MaxPax. So fun to see how he does here. This was, I believe, I think it was a quarterfinal in the ESL Open Cup NA, but I didn't really look at the bracket too in depth. In fact, I didn't even look at the bracket. I looked at the replay pack, and I think this said round of 8 when it started up. So yeah, I can probably tell you guys that properly in game number 2. But yeah, so here we are, a little bit of PvT action, best of 3, and we'll roll through this and see just how today's gonna go. See how this match ends up going as we do have a probe. Going to come up here, fight an SCV a little bit. Marine on the way out. And for now, this probe is just going to get pushed back down to the low ground and chase back through to the middle of the map. Command center starting up on the natural. So getting that started up pretty much immediately. Cybernetics core is on the way in. The Zealot production continuing through. And an orbital command about to complete from Kua on the main base. Which means he can drop down a mule already. And just obviously, yeah, get this going. Nothing really too crazy to talk about here in the very early few moments of this one. Pretty standard across the board for the moment. As we get this all set up. There's a bunch of casters in this game. I'm like, whose camera should I follow? I've been a big fan lately of following other people's cameras and trying to observe myself because I've finally accepted I'm just not a good observer. Not when I'm casting, anyways. And you know what it is? Once you get into the bad habit of doing it, it's very easy to keep doing it, and you get even worse and stuff. So, yeah. All right, Adept coming across the map here from MaxPax is going to be joining the Zealot, so he does like to put the pressure on. This is one of the shorter maps in the map pool, so get across early, try and put some pressure on. If you can delay this CC, that'd be amazing. Kind of depends on where the SCV goes. Loops around. The Adept comes in on the other side, so you will get the delay. And that means SCVs have to continue down here. We lift the depot, which means the Zealot is locked in. It's going to go on a wander over to the right side, basically try and find some chaos. Actually surrounded, but he does still reach across the other SCV. He actually, basically, slung his, what's it called? Like, the side blade, over the shoulder of that SCV to hit the other one. There's 2 Hellions here to try and help push the Adepts back, but Adepts pretty good at Hellions. So, doing okay. A good bit of back and forth, and I feel like MaxPax being great early pressure, delays the CC a bit. 3 SCVs, low HP Hellions can't move across the map as easily. Now heading straight into the Dark Shrine to keep this up and running. So really looking to just go at the moment, no chill. And just really bring some pressure to his opponent early in this game. And just get off to a fantastic start, it would seem. So Adepts do shade up into this base over here as well. And really do continue to commit in for some further damage, looking to get as much done as possible. Just going to clean out that Widow Mine as well, and even going to get in the main, which, like I say, not bad. Across the map, 2 Hellions are fully blocked here. They could maybe kill a probe if they were being paid attention to, but we were dealing with the Adept. And now the Adept is actually going to shade on after these 2 Hellions and should be able to guarantee a kill. Is it a bad idea to go for this at all? I don't think so. I think you're pretty much in the clear to commit to that if you want to. Is more or less what happens. So, yeah, pretty cool start so far, guys. Honestly, enjoying the early moments of this game. As you have the medevac with 2 Widow Mines in it coming down the left-hand side. So that's going to be our next point of attack. 2 Widow Mines into this main base, see what they can do. And then they fly, and he's going to spot the Dark Shrine, which is at least great information to have. There is a robo up, as we completely avoid the mines initially, but you do have to set them off at some stage. Here is our Prism moving forward. Now, this wall-off is kind of important. It's going to buy a bit of time against the first DT. There's no scan available right now. 5 energy away from having a scan. And the Raven on the way up, too. We're going to go for the Tech Lab on the factory. I feel like that was just, not being controlled initially more than anything else. So those GTs are in. We're still losing SCVs across the map. Helene in the natural, Medevac in the main, getting shot at, will get away alive. Scan there, DT saved at least, as the DT on the natural has broken through. And this is at least hopefully going to be some extra SCVs, because again, probe damage taken. You kind of need to do something right now as MaxPax. I think he's actually already done enough though. 9 SCVs, only lost 5 probes. He's up by 13, which is absolutely a great number to be at. And the tech from Cure is very delayed as well, right? Because this is still just 1-1-1. This is very much so a, you know, Viking into Raven is cute and all that, but there's not a lot of firepower like right now on the map. Maybe you've got like one scary push initially, but I'd say that's kind of about it to begin with. Person pulls back away. Just gonna get the depot and the bunker down again. Just gonna get 2 Widowmines burrowed up. That's a dead Stalker, no? Actually could have had a Stalker kill there. If he targets the Stalker, that's a better kill. Where the Stalkers were would have splashed onto the probe anyway, but the Stalker's just more valuable. The second mine, unfortunately, hits the assimilator, so for Cure, not much else gained. At least he gets this Medevac out alive, which is very impressive. The Archon trying to come back into play. The 2 DTs morphing into that, so you have still some continued pressure on the map as MaxPax doing what he can with it here. As you just have the Prism holding back, and is just going to warp in a couple more units. Going to be 2 more DTs and a Zealot, which means we are going to hand, in total here, a double Archon drop, which is obviously usually the norm. And a few Stalkers and a Zealot to pressure at the front as well, so quite a lot going on actually for MaxPax in these next few moments. At the same time, Cure just has a tank-based defense. I mean, tank's not great against the Archons. If these Archons get in position, it's kind of annoying. I mean, you can just see how good the Archons will be at tanking tank shots, absorbing those quite easily. Charge about to finish up as well. Do you have any kind of bust potential against a fully walled-off Terran player? I would say maybe not, but maybe if you can... I'd imagine it's possible if you could maybe just like... Well, I guess you could just bust down this wall. In fact, no depot race. This bunker goes down. Archons are going to get through and get on top of this tank. Okay, now there's absolutely potential. Getting into the natural is meant to be the hard part, but it was made much easier by the lack of proper defense there. The Prism's going to try Zealot Warp, and I was going to say, I think that's a little bit wild, because the Viking already had a lot of shots on it, but it just doesn't matter. MaxPax has plenty enough to force this game to go to game number 2 with the scoreline in his favor. Cure tapping out that GG, and that will be game number 1 of this best of 3. Because being able to make content out of stuff that I've, you know, like that is it's really neat. Like, when they release the Home Story Cup replay pack, I'm going to cast the finals, because I only casted the final best of 3, so I didn't... I watched the games, but it's very different watching the games than casting the games, right? How much attention you pay, so it still makes for a good casting, give my own opinions and stuff. Get them on YouTube. Should be some good views on that one, fingers crossed. Kind of sad that the Home Story Cup replay pack's coming out so slow though, because it means that all the channels that upload content illegally will have the head start. Because obviously Home Story Cup don't upload their own VODs, they don't really care. But then all the people who like steal the content and upload it themselves will get the head start, whereas at least if I could have casted it, then I could have put it up myself, you know? Rip. Not the end of the world, though. We'll survive. MaxPax in the bottom right, and it is Cure in the top left. As again to Cosmic Sapphire for game 2. We are going to go... Are we going to gold base? A lot of people are gold basing on this map. And it's so far away from the main base as well. It feels very abusable. It feels like there's going to be so many like high action, like big aggressive kind of games that shouldn't really be possible to defend when you take this gold. But honestly, pros players have done a better job of it than I thought they would so far. So, I mean, I guess there's obviously got to be a reason you got to keep doing. You keep doing this. So, yeah, I suppose we will see. Map number 2. Again, obviously in a best of 3, this means win and you move on for MaxPax, lose and you're out for Cure. Open Cup, not the craziest of things, right? But some good prize money on the line for a one-night cup, as always, $400 plus the ESL points people are always hungry for as well. And the round of 8 is the round where you move into EPT points and prize money. So, yeah, it's actually this round does become quite important in that regard. And so yeah, these guys will be, you know, try and grab some of that cash, make the day of or evening of playing or night of playing, or morning of playing for the Koreans worthwhile. Beyond a little bit of practice. Keep it out over the right-hand side, and we already have a Zealot of MaxPax moving through into the natural there. Single Marine is going to get into the bunker. I mean, this is already nice, though, because you're putting some pressure on, and that keeps the pressure away from you trying to take that expansion, right? And that's one of the things you're looking to avoid. You just want to get your expansion up nice and easily. As the Stalker moves through as well, going to move in for the natural. You'll see these SCVs pulling in and chase the Zealots. So yeah, causing a bit of chaos, and your gold base is going to be fairly well protected for the moment just by being active on the map. I was going to say that Zealot looks as though it was going to get another SCV. It was not taking damage. Just a couple SCVs going down. Frustrating, but far from being game-ending, of course. As the Marines continue through, just going to push that Stalker away and clear up the front door nice and easily. You look at the vision here from Kyo. He's obviously scoured this team. Well, what has he scoured actually this game? He has scouted the I guess he just came in with the Reaper and scouted here, and he didn't actually scout the natural until just now. So I actually don't think Q knew. I think he came in and scouted the main and just didn't see tech, and then the Reaper died, and so yeah, he didn't actually ever get the scout on the fact there was no natural and it's potentially at the gold. So everything goes down as it does confirm pretty much all of that though. So now at least you are somewhat aware of what's happening. You drop a depot down to the side. Raven on the way up. Robo facility producing. The MaxPax powers up off on the back of this blink play. Going to 3 gateways, so it's that cool in-between of kind of 4-gauge aggression, very committed, and, you know, 2-gauge just expanding. So you will have some good pressure to apply from here. Be able to get something done, I imagine, the next little while. Stalker's getting another shot off. SCV taking a few little bits of damage. Again, nothing really too crazy too quickly. And these Stalkers just going to hang out at the front and wait for their chance to strike. Make something happen, perhaps. In the near future, again, nothing really too crazy or too exciting for the moment. Just waiting for some setup to happen. Tank shot goes off. Everything kind of gets blasted around a little bit. And nothing too wild just yet as we just have the Prism now on its way over. The Raven will head to the bottom left. Battery not up and online here just yet, so good place to auto turret, and we'll force a Stalker warp in here as well, which is annoying. The Stalkers, they go for the auto turret, but I actually feel like it would have been better to just get some shots on the Raven already, because he could have pulled these Stalkers to the left side and maybe intercepted that Raven coming back home. We ended up losing 4 probes, but that felt unnecessary as well, just bringing them back into range too soon. Again, Stimpack and +1, continuing to build in these Stalker numbers. Continue to ramp up just out the front of this base. I don't think MaxPax is going to be able to do much here, guys. You look at this right now, and this is very much a situation where he doesn't have a lot of firepower. There's a good defense from Kieran. Oh god, he blinks into this position. And the problem is, this tank is already in a position to reach the edges. So fortunately, this Prism Micro can save a lot of these Stalkers, and I don't believe we lose one. So very well controlled from MaxPax. He lost 1 Stalker early, so yeah, didn't lose anything extra there. That was actually a really good save from MaxPax, because that was a horrible position to end up blinking into at the end of the day. Of course, not ideal that he's not getting anything done, but he is on 3 bases, including a gold, so he does have a little bit of leeway when it comes to economy. Of course, Q is going to be powered up shortly. Stimpack and Combat Shield really not far from finishing. And once those bio upgrades are on the map, the bio army becomes unleashed. Unload those few Stalkers. Let's get this all gathered up. It's going to be 9 of them in total, and just going to move along to the front here. A couple of probes going down across the map. Just want to see what these Stalkers do before we check in on... Yeah, it's just an auto turret, so nothing too exciting. Since we have got the Bioforce looking to re-engage in. Stimpack, Combat Shield, really not far from completing. +1 is on the horizon as well. All of this coming online shortly as we have our gateways morphing in on the main. This auto turret has been very annoying. We're up to 5 kills in recent times. 9 kills in total on the Raven. It's a Zealot warping in from the Prism, but again, units are just here. Secure just saying, well, You're really trying hard to make something happen against me, but I'm just not going to do anything. So if I'm just not going to do anything, what are you actually going to do? Like, what sort of damage can you really achieve? Answer so far is really not a lot. Dark Shrine still coming through. It's going to be seen our Bioforce. Going to start working down the left-hand side. These few Stalkers are going to take a little bit of trouble. A little bit of damage. Just going to be seeing the army continuing down this left-hand side. I mean, Kira is up a lot of supply right now. This has really been a good game from him. Good harassment and all sorts. He's getting in position to maybe try and deny this gold base. He sets up a little bit shy of the marker, as we do have Zealots counter-attacking, but I don't think you pull this army back just to deal with the Zealot counter right now. I feel like this is where you actually are in a good position to keep this going. His reinforcements are starting to deal with it. He's, like I say, just playing from quite far back. Maybe doesn't need to be this far back, and as he's waited quite a while, the Zealot count's gotten a lot better here. Good force fields trapping in some of those bio units, allowing the Zealots to get better damage done. 12 SCVs going down across the map. These last couple of Zealots apparently still kept on hammering away, and the bio reinforcements didn't deal with it, so MaxPax is making this a lot more playable, and it seemed like it should be. That's going way better than it initially seemed like, as we do have Stalkers trying to move forward. Widowmine shots. First one connects, second one kind of misses. Now the Zealots come in for the flank, cleans out the tank. Widowmine's all gone. Anti-army missile is reasonable, though. Oh, that Widowmine is huge! Wow, the Widowmine was actually pretty massive there, clearing up a few extra Zealots, and this is a good position to fight in because it's very choked up, so the Zealots are not going to be able to get a proper surround. So this is a horrible fight for MaxPax, whose supplies continue to fall off in this game. And we're talking about 85 to 6 army supply. MaxPax, I'm surprised, is not tapped out because he's got to realize he has basically nothing. I suppose he's warping in DTs, and he's going to try and pray that DTs can turn this around and that he can maybe find a defense eventually. And it's not wrong to play into your one opportunity that you have and at least see how it plays out, right? What's an extra minute in the game if you believe there might somehow be a slight chance? You may as well give it a go, but Kira pulls back. He's going to start dealing with these DTs because the Raven is still alive, so that's been a harassing all game, and now finally actually comes into play, detecting DTs late in the game. This group of units here should have no problem against Zealot Warpins, I don't think, although there's quite a lot of Stalks in the bottom. MaxPax is able to take a better fight than expected here, I suppose. As soon as reinforcements arrive from Kira, though, this is, again, not really a competition. MaxPax will still try and go elsewhere at the Prism, though, and just, again, extend this game if at all possible. Try every trick he has up his sleeve. I mean, again, with DTs, like I said, it's worth at least giving it a go until your opponent is confident enough to properly come and kill you, right? And at this stage, maybe just reassess for game number 3 as well while you're still in game. You know, once you're out of game between games, you can't just ask for forever to think. So, you know, play around a little bit now, but maybe think a bit about, hey, what am I going to change in game 3? What was working here? Maybe even check some of his defenses right now. Like, how does he respond to stuff like this? How does he respond to this kind of a run by? You know, and maybe you can use that information in a third game as well. Again, I think absolutely MaxPax is dead, but definitely worth at least giving it a go. I mean, also his army supply is getting to be reasonable once more. It's been kind of a scrappy game, so maybe, right? Obviously, anti-armor missile on the units does not help at all. The Raven's still alive. It's so rare you see a Raven lasting this long, but this one has been an absolute champion pretty much throughout. As okay, backwards here, MaxPax doesn't have the army. He knows it, and again, like I say, it was worth giving it a go, but Kira just a little bit too strong and is going to end up taking. Game number 2 ties the series 1-1 with a game 3 coming up to decide who moves on through from this round of the competition. We have got ourselves in the top left-hand side of the map. Oh my goodness. The Blue Brothers player from Stone Gaming is MaxPax. Never really got going in that last game. That's down in the bottom right. Our Terran player is going to be Kua. Yo, Ohalarana, thank you so much for the 10 gifted subs. We're at the start. Let's run through these to MYM Era, Cookie Staja, Ichion80, Buddha 13337, Eduardo FM32, Fenrir Moose, Boba32, Unlooping Fool, Walrus Jutsu, and Nut in My Yoka. What a name. Thank you so much for the generosity of 10 gifted subs. Choo choo, starting the hype train as we start up the hype train for game number 3 here. And thank you so much, Dante Plays 19, for the 7-month resub on the Prime as well. Choo choo. I really don't have the voice on me to do a choo choo sound today, guys. Choo choo. I need some like reverb or something. Like choo choo. That wasn't it. That was a bit too loud. I had the pitch up.
Choo choo. Choo.
Too low, too low. Choo choo. Nope. None of the sounds are good for Trojan sounds, guys. I actually think this one might be okay if I turn it down a bit. The reverb and echo. Nope, nope, nope. It's just terrible, actually. Shit, I don't have a good train sound thing. At least like, oh, choo choo, that sounds like food. She's back. Alrighty, guys, so. Game number 3 here, MaxPax and Cure. I'm making sounds. Thank you for the love in the chat. Let's see what goes down. As we kick off into this third game of this little best of 3 that's been going on. CSCV coming across over the right side. Look to see what's going on over there. And getting this all ready to go. What's up, Madeg? Oh god, why can't I say that? Madeg. That's just hard to say. How do you say a GTH together? Hey, thank you so much for the 4-3 sub, though. Appreciate it. So I'm trying to investigate what Ellie's doing. Ellie, no. Being mischievous. Alright, Stargate opening here this time around. Says we do have a Reaper already on the map, of course, and looking around for Cure. It's just that Stargate in the base from MaxPax. Going to build up towards the front here. This Reaper doesn't have a place to jump up, apparently. It can jump up there, though, right? No? Is that a full wall in the jump up spot? Really? That's crazy, no? Wow, that's kind of wild. I feel like even Q couldn't quite believe it. He was clicking everywhere. It's like, why wouldn't my Reaper go up? It's bugged. No. Oh. Adept just going to be shading out from the natural lens. It's caused some chaos. 2 SCVs that were forced into the bunker, right? So, if nothing else, denying a little bit of mining time in the very early stages. So that alone is already a pretty reasonable positive in these early stages. And yeah, I'm really intrigued about this wall off on that main base, guys. Like, is that actually like just a full wall off you can do repeatedly? Is there really no way up here? I guess not. I mean, Q really clicked like everywhere I think you can click, so yeah, that's kind of nutty because then you can deny a full scout on any sort of tech. You can even build your tech off that pylon and it won't be scouted straight away. So if that's true, that really is very powerful. That gives you a very good setup at least, if nothing else. There's the Reaper and the Hellion trying to move through, and ooh, 2 Adepts there get the Reaper straight away. And the Phoenix will be there to kill off this Hellion. It will go down. As we drop down another barracks on the main base. And a couple of Widow Mines just making their way around at the moment. Just going to burrow up behind the starport. As we got ourselves extra racks continuing through. It's going to be building up a tech lab on the starport and on the factory, but the Phoenix have to be real careful, because if they find a double mine, they could both die, and that would be very bad. I mean, that would be a start you don't necessarily recover from at all in a game of TvP, because Phoenix are quite the investment, but they really pay off for themselves. They can't pay off for themselves when they die, naturally. I don't want to blow your minds too much, guys, but that is some commonly known facts about Phoenix, so... Do you have an SCV at the edge here? Just was that in range getting chipped off? Either way, I mean, Phoenix finding some damage at least. The Cure kind of just replaces the mines a different place, just trying to catch MaxPax off guard at some stage. There's no guarantee that those are going to connect, but it's nice to at least give it a go, right? As the Phoenix is going to go nibble their way through this barracks, and then back it up themselves a little bit. Another Phoenix coming through, Immortal and Robobay on the way out as well. And just going to be seeing our... game slowing it down a little bit here on Moondance, so really not much apart from these Phoenix. Obviously, once Kira hits into Stim and Combat Shield and +1, I'm sure we'll have a much more interesting game to talk about once again, but until then, it's going to be pretty passive here. It's going to be pretty laid back for a little while. Yeah, you've seen Stim, Combat +1, all of that continuing through. We do have the extended thermal lance building from MaxPax. So just going to be seeing our missile turret finding a way on these Phoenix and the medevac, taking some damage. The Mines and Marines still trying to move on through. Just heading up towards the top. A couple of depths coming in, extended tunnel lands coming out, and our Marines continue to chase these Phoenix down. As we just have Kira has been doing good at zoning these Phoenix out. Problem is, it's Marine Mine against the Colossus, and one Colossus defensively is actually very powerful right now. So you can actually keep, you know, this Colossus can be really good at keeping this army at bay, and as long as that's the case, well, this Marine can't ain't really going to be able to do too much. So it's the power of Phoenix Colossus, even when the Phoenix have been pretty well handled from Kira's side. He's not let them get out of hand. He's not being dictated where he can go by them. The Colossus is generally up in time to defend, and we do have a difference of expansions, by the way. Obviously, MaxPax expands forward, takes the full 6 gas base, or well, allows him to go to 6 gases. Obviously, the in-base expansion from Kira means he can only have 1 extra gas. And it's only 6 patches too, so it's a little bit worse, but it's a little bit safer as well. You don't have to worry about some of the aggression right away, which obviously helps quite a bit. Army starts to move up the right-hand side, and still like a lot of Phoenix just kind of hanging out on the 3rd base as well, as the Observer continues to move over and trying to just track this, so you know where this attack's coming from. Kira has split his army in 2 directions, left and right side, so really is hoping to try and catch MaxPax out of position, pull him too much one way, and then hit him the other side when he's too far out of position, and so on. Let's do see our bio units get on top of it. At the very least, a few pylons, so clearing out the scouting pylons. Yeah, MaxPax doesn't get supply block, but that is money down the drain. You know, minerals that have to be replaced, and they're free pickings so far. 3 pylons going down. Like I say, free pickings early in this game, and not sure what. I guess we're zooming on this Twilight Council, waiting for something to happen. See what comes out of it in the near future, because I guess right now, yeah, nothing really is coming out of the Twilight Council. Generally, with Phoenix already up, you can go straight at charge, and obviously charge lots very powerful on the ground, really providing a good buffer. You don't need Blink because you've got the Phoenix to protect the Colossi from the Vikings. You've got the Phoenix to protect from drops a little bit as well. Have some chase potential in the sky. This charge typically is that next step here from MaxPax, but again, it is kind of painful. And right away, maybe not so bad. Charge also upgrades pretty quickly, but if he doesn't have it by the time a big fight happens, then yeah, maybe some things are coming through. He's going to see Vikings and Ghosts on the way. I mean, Kira really is just getting his army up and running. Ghosts are fantastic in this scenario, right? You hit those EMPs, those Phoenix are negated. I actually do worry now that I think MaxPax has forgotten his charge upgrade, right? Like, he has just not started anything off the Twilight, and it is getting to that stage where you really do want it, because, like I say, that, you know, Ghost Academy's coming online. Some of these upgrades are kicking in. This is going to get kind of scary kind of soon here, so definitely becoming a little bit problematic right now, if you're not careful in the next little while. And grab the Observer there, by the way, so it's a nice little catch with those few Marines. Somebody coming up the left side, gonna grab themselves a Zealot. Emerald in the front going down. And at the moment, the Colossi will do a good job zoning, but Kira's never really intending to attack into Colossi with this army. There's just no need when he's on his way to the Ghosts and the Vikings, right? So he very much so knows that. He's very aware of this situation, I'm sure. 5th base coming up as well. MaxPax double expanding. He's already taken the in-base, which Kira scanned. Oh, that's a great spot from Kira, who just has units here. MaxPax knew these units were lurking on the left-hand side, so I feel like that's a bit of a haphazard play with the Warp Prism. Just, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like there was no sign of units having been there. It's not like this was already not spotted before now. It just seems like such a wild assumption to be like, oh, this is fine. I'm sure those units have just left, right? Thing getting big. He's going to drop an EMP down. Phoenix taking some shots. Again, a couple of Vikings, Marauders, Mines. Kira's army, I mean, you can see what he's investing into right now. No Marines, right? Marauders, Vikings, like, it's everything that deals with the tech units. He's got the firepower in the Marines already. He just wants to buff up this army a little bit before he takes one mega fight. And by the time he fights, his army's going to be pretty darn good itself. A mine shot here lays claim to maybe a Phoenix or so up in the skies. Yeah, I think a Phoenix died to that, wouldn't mind. He hadn't lost a Phoenix until now either, so he'd been pretty good at defending that, as we'll drop an initial EMP on this Nexus. He kind of forced everything to come together here. We still have that army on the left side as well, remember. from Cure, who drops an EMP and lands a Viking shot to kill a Phoenix there. And this mine, I was going to say, is about to come off cooldown. Got to be careful on that massive EMP on the Zealots. Be kite away, but again, that army on the left side is missing. The Archons are out of energy as well, by the way, or out of shields. If they got tapped, they would have fallen down, but they were protected by that massive wave of Zealots, which are also out of shields. No armor upgrades on MaxPax's side. The first one's about to kick in, but it's 2-2 from Cure, so upgrade-wise, Cure pretty well set up as well. I actually kind of love Cure's army. I know MaxPax's army is looking pretty reasonable at this point, right? Like, it just feels like Cure's army's got so much tech in it. He's not traded unnecessarily before now. And so as these bigger fights start to break out, it actually starts to feel like he's going to start trading very well. His first fight breaking out at the same time on the left-hand side of the map as well. So this is going to be this force coming through and starting to deal some extra damage. Zealots continuing to go down. He gets a little bit trapped in the corner, but he's going to lift up a group of units and just drop them. I think he assumed he's going to lose the majority of this force here. Of course, I mean, now he's going to force a recall, and then he's already going to be in the main base with this drop, or maybe he can go to the low ground. These 3 bio units made it across there as well. Okay, this turned out to be a pretty bad drop, actually, but the run into the natural is successful, killing a Colossus already. A lot of Marauders here. They'll just kite backward now. And dropping the main base was a real loss, unfortunately, for Cure. That really didn't gain much at all, but he's still doing okay here. Picks off the Archon. I really thought recalling the army here and then having the drop in the main was neat, but at least MaxPax was able to do that. Then the medevac should have turned around, maybe dropped here, maybe looked for a drop here, or maybe even just retreated in full, because, like I say, that was just not a good fight in the main base. It was a little bit too committed, perhaps, by the end of it all. As our Ghost and the rest of our bio continue on forward. MaxPax is actually going to be the one maxed here. Cure still got a lot of units on production that are not currently in play, so he's kind of waiting on those to really power up a little bit. There's a great EMPs initially, though. It feels very uninspiring, this attack from MaxPax. The Disruptor hits 2 Ghosts, but I mean, you're just running single file almost into this army. The Prism is going to go down here, and boy, if we can just get a tap or 2 on these Archons, I would stim. These Archons are super low. If you can just hit them for a moment, those are some very expensive kills. You know, so gas heavy, the Archons. Being able to take those down would be absolutely huge. Moving along to the right, there's some DTs here, maybe ready to fight. As the Colossi come down the ramp, Cure is going to have to relocate to take this fight properly, as we do eat a Marine shot or 2. We find the DTs, and they were moments away from having Shadow Strikes. They didn't have a good way out. We still have Archons that are super low. If we can just get some shots on them, they die so quickly. Disruptors at least do return the favor and find some value here from MaxPax, but I think Cure just has way too much. I was going to say, I don't know why the Vikings aren't fighting. There's no anti-air anymore, so there's nothing to stop them from just sitting here and killing those Colossi off. And now MaxPax is basically set down to a Disruptor-only army. And Disruptor-only is very weak because it's just not reliable splash damage. Like, if the Terran can just dodge around and move around, those Disruptors are really limited in terms of what they can achieve. So do not really feel good about that at all, as our Zealot Stalker Disruptor continues to gather up and hang out on the right-hand side. The rest of these libs are going to join up back over here, the Vikings too. So everything joined up, and just going to be seeing this force of Cure heading back down to the south. $60 army supply lead from Cure, right? I mean, just had so many good fights. Look at the resources lost, 10k difference as well. And it really feels like Cure played for this whole game. Like, he was never looking to trade too early. He never got overwhelmed. He never gave MaxPax the chance to be, you know, on a massive army advantage. So, yeah, he played very well in that regard, I think. And as 5-6 probes already going down, this Bioforce going through, killing off a lot of these DTs. These Zealots are going down as well. I mean, DTs are going to come in from the other side. Can they get a blink forward here? The Stalkers are here trying to fly. We are just going to load up. At the same time, Cure has a gigantic army on the right side. He's got libs that are going to start zoning out these Disruptors. The Disruptor's actually a little bit too far forward right now, and some of them should surely go down. At least that one in the back. Yep. Going to go down straight away. Top right base not allowed. We are going to drop over here. Don't think these units have too much more potential, though. I think this will get hunted down if they don't lift up. We do have counterattacks from MaxPax aiming to get across the other side. It's actually a pretty good first Disruptor shot. So is the second one. And so is the third. I mean, honestly, the Disruptors did fantastic. It's just MaxPax is too far gone in this game already. And this is going to be a GG's. Cure is going to take A 2-1 victory in what was this best of 3 in the ESL Open Cup NA. Yeah, this game was really cool from Kira. Just very comfortable playing the later game army. Very comfortable just building into a better and better army. And again, a lot of the time when you're playing Phoenix Colossus, it's very easy to kind of just send an army forward, try and fight with it, and you lose out, and then the Protoss has a bit of a lead. They can do so much with that. It felt like Kira never took a major fight before he had a reasonable Viking count and good Ghost DMPs available. And from there, it felt like MaxPax could never take a fight. And Kira was very patient about just backing away. You know, even if he had good EMPs, he didn't just force a fight. He just took what he was given every single time, and every single time that happened, he's just trading well. And that leads to this position, which obviously, I mean, it was like 10,000 resource loss difference at one point there. And that was before it was like super bad. Obviously, towards the end, it's always going to be efficient for Kira, these fights. But yeah, the resource loss difference just kind of made this entire style of MaxPax look bad. Which obviously it's not. Phoenix Colossus is a real standard and a real staple in PvT. So yeah, kind of crazy, guys. Really cool game from Kira. Liked it a lot. GG's.